everybody, it's Uncle Scott. Welcome back to the QwerkyReax channel, and you'll never guess who's back. Brooke is back again. What's up, Brooke?
Hey!
Thanks for coming back. The last thing we watched together was The Tales, which you very much enjoyed.
I loved.
Awesome. Yeah, see, she changed enjoyed to loved. Then I was talking to her after the last recording, and I said, okay, I could show you some other stuff, some other artists, or I could show you another Ren song where he's a storyteller. And she was like, that. Ren. Yes, more Ren. So I am showing her Moneygame 3, guys, which you obviously knew from the thumbnail. Brooke, for your knowledge, basically he did a trilogy of songs, Moneygame 1, Moneygame 2, Moneygame 3. It's all about basically how kind of money and greed can like rule the world, rule your life, how people will do things for money that's not super healthy. Yeah, so it's all got a message, but this will probably be the first one. This will be the first one you hear where he kind of, I don't know the way to put it. Well, I'll just play it for you. It's very dope. You'll see he's very talented. This is the first time you'll hear him play the piano, which he also does. Yeah. And it's a very cool thing. I will also tell you, Moneygame 1 was kind of an avant-garde video, but it was good. Moneygame 2 is a lyric video, so there's no like, it's just lyrics with video behind it, but it's not him. You never see him. He does that a lot with his songs. Actually, he has a lot of lyric videos. Okay. But also, I should tell you, Moneygame 2 has my favorite verse I think that he's ever written ever. Like, it might be my favorite verse in music history. It's really that good. Wow. So I'll have to try to play that for you sometime too. But the other cool thing is that not like Tales of Jenny and Screech and Violet's Tale, you don't need them in order. So they're all kind of separate.
Okay, cool.
So that's why I'm able to show you Moneygame 3 right now.
That's my question. I was going to ask you that. So now I know.
Yep. My audience is very aware at this point that when I watching Ren music, I get very excited and I start to babble. So I'm trying to learn to control it, but it's very hard. But I'm excited for you to see this. I will stop it a couple of times just to see how you're doing with it. Number one, but also you kind of get in trouble if you play a full 9-minute video on YouTube. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
So let's do it.
Awesome. Here we go.
You ready?
Oh, yeah.
He's clearly starting with the guitar. Can you tell?
Yes. It's a very interesting looking guitar.
Isn't it? All right, here we go. You'll also notice this is practically a one-take video. Like, there is a cut, possibly two. People argue about that, but there's at least one cut. But for the rest of it, it's just him doing it.
you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
Whoa.
So we're about halfway through.
It's interesting. This song is almost sad in a whole other way, right? It's like this kid was just like in this upbringing.
Yeah.
Essentially just taught him some, in my opinion, some not great values, you know? I mean, obviously we all need money to some extent to survive, right? But clearly he's just consumed by it because he has this dad and this family that don't let him feel otherwise, you know?
Yes. Kind of like he's being forced into playing the game without any option of whether he wants to play at all.
Right. Totally.
Yeah. But I think you see what I mean about like his ability to juggle all the things he's doing at once while singing is insane to me.
Yeah. And it's a great point too that you mentioned that it's one take, because I've been, or, you know, I guess a couple of takes, right? But I've been noticing that and I go, wow, because, you know, you think about shooting a movie or a TV show and the number of takes you get. It's like, okay, you're going to do this little part of this scene. And you're like, oh, I messed up that part. I'm like, oh, but actually we'll probably cut to here at this point. So it's okay. We don't need that whole take.
Right.
Like here, it kind of all has to be perfect. And I'm curious how many times, I would love to know about the filming process of this and how many times they had to do this over to get it right.
So there's, oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, there's just so much that has to go right for it to work.
Yeah, so apparently, and I haven't watched it, which everyone in the comments will be like, that's bad on you, but there's like an hour and a half video that he posted to his YouTube channel that's a behind the scenes of the making of this.
Oh, wow.
Which like goes into detail how they were able to coordinate it all and do it all and everything else. But I think he did like a lot of takes of this first part. You'll see later why there needed to be a cut. But I'm going to back it up just a little bit so to get you into it. But I want you to notice, because it's like a cool production thing, because, you know, I'm a filmmaker, so I notice like little production things. And as an actor, I think you'll appreciate it. But this moment here, when they do the turn on the globe, you'll see briefly his hand move. This is him disheveling himself. So, but because they're timing it of when he's off camera to make himself look haphazard. So
cool.
you'll see like You can even kind of see it there. I backed up once, and you can see his arm up like that.
Totally.
But if I go back again, that's what, 4. I just want you to see how he's done up regular right here.
Right.
And now watch when the globe spins, how he looks after it. And I think you'll see what I mean. Here we go.
Daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32 moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
Isn't that cool?
"35, he gets a call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack. I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion. Heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck.
So here comes the cut. And you'll see it. There.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41 he wasn't walking, 42 not walking quickly, 43 never running round the pavements of his city, 44 inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic. Fuck the money and fame. Call the music. This isn't entertainment, this is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention, politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas, did I mention? Border's an invention, law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution?
As an actor, his ability to live in this silence is...
Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive. We're parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface then consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise.
So good.
"45, Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
Jeez. I will say, Ren doesn't write a lot of lighthearted stuff.
He actually does. I just haven't showed it to you.
Let's just start off dark. No, I mean, wow.
He doesn't do long, complicated videos of the lighthearted stuff.
That makes sense.
Yeah, like the drama is in this kind of stuff, not the like,
Yeah.
But
Dang.
it's crazy, right?
Yeah, like I said, tragic that story, and wow, I loved this is so corny, but I love the rain at the end. I thought that was a really cool way to set the scene, and I kind of like this idea that throughout the video people were faceless, you know.
Yeah. Did you catch what they had wrapped around their heads?
I did not catch what that was. I mean, I know they had ropes.
It's their money bags.
Oh, well, that makes a lot of sense. See, I think I misinterpreted that. I took it more as like we're all, you know, when you're just living for greed and money, we're all just kind of like cogs in the machine and not really being your own individual human being. You're just living for, like he even said, we all like teach the kids to just do the same thing, to be sheep. And so I kind of thought that's what that was. But
I think that is. No, I think you're right. No, yeah, I think you're spot on. I'm just saying to do that, instead of having them wear like blank masks or something like that, he wrapped everyone's head in money bags, like things that symbolize money bags, which
Very
is
cool.
the idea, you know? And he did that in Moneygame 1 too. Like there's a guy with a money bag like wrapped around his neck.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
Really
To be fair, I didn't pick that up. Someone else was like, dude, you missed the fact that those are money bags. Like you just completely missed it.
Yeah, I miss it.
Ren says his art and all art should be interpreted by the viewer. So
I agree. That's literally the point of art. We all have our own experiences that we project onto it. So we're all gonna see things differently. And that's kind of, I mean, I think that's the cool thing about art, right?
yeah.
Well, I do have a question. Is Samuel the cinematographer? Because before the past videos, okay, he's very talented.
Yeah, he's also he does a lot of stuff with Ren. He's like Ren's best friend, and I think they sing together too. And I haven't watched. Everyone keeps telling me to watch like some of his Big Push stuff. So he was in a band called the Big Push, or he's still in a band called the Big Push, and they do a lot of busking stuff on the streets of Brighton. And Sam is the person who sings with him in the band. So I think he's just got very talented people around him, and they just all do fun, dope stuff together.
That's so cool.
And we all get to be here for the ride. Like,
we all get
it's
to watch
so awesome. Yeah.
How lucky are we?
Seriously, you see, I'm always smiling when I do these videos because I'm like, it's so great.
Totally.
I can't get enough.
This one's cool. I really liked it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew it's, like I said, I know it's another dark one, but
no, but I like it.
Yeah, just the way he does it, and the way that's what you said. Like you like the rain at the end. That's why he needed to make the cut, because he couldn't get the other suit wet, so they had to change and like do a whole thing. But when he does that with the rain coming down and everything else, like you said, I thought that was such like a cool touch. And I also love that he composed the strings music and like thought to have them behind him, and like
yeah, I know that was so cool.
He's so talented.
So talented.
How can you not love Ren?
And he really did embody the character. I noticed too in his physicality, right? Like the beginning, he's like really standing up straight, like chest puffed out, seemingly very proud and I don't know, prestigious maybe. And then the end, you have him like slouched over, and obviously he's sitting down, but he's like still, but he's slouched over. He just seems like limp and lazy, and so I just thought that was a really cool dynamic to watch as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of people don't talk enough about the fact that, like, he knew he needed to have the gun at the end for him to be able to kill himself, but he didn't have a way to do that in the song necessarily.
Right.
But he built this, like, almost like lesson, this spoken word lesson in the middle of it. Like, everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if people would learn to use their brains. Like,
Right.
it made it this, like, really profound thing while he over there loading a gun for the suicide part. Like that, like that's
And you said this too, like the moment of silence he was comfortable taking for that part. I mean, it's and in some acting classes they talk about this, right? Like just people like watching people just doing and just like doing that thing naturally, even if it's just like, I don't know, taking a sip of water, or like, just what he was doing, just loading a gun. And it's like he wasn't doing anything or putting anything on it. He just did the thing. And I thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, I said that out loud to you particularly, and I've said it to other people who are actors that watch with me, because you get it. You know exactly what I'm talking about when I say the ability to live in that silence is really hard to do, because like
it is hard to do.
And a lot of people don't realize that. They're like, why? Just do the thing and don't say anything. And it's like, yeah, but when you're performing, you feel like you have to always be like,
you feel like you have to be interesting, as opposed to just like being yourself and accepting that is interesting enough.
Right. And that there's a purpose to the slow, drawn out way. He takes it off, folds the jacket, grabs the gun, considers it, like that's all part of it. And he's just so comfortable. He's just he is just living in it. And it's like, wow, bro, I don't know if you know how talented you are. Like,
he is very talented indeed.
Yep. So I think we got you another banger there for you to enjoy. I guess you can't really call that a banger because it's not like one you're gonna like bop to, but
you can for some of it.
Yeah, that's true, I guess. It's just like the way it ends is kind of, whoa, okay.
Yeah.
Here we are. I'll tell people in the comments, if you made it this far, please, what would you pick as the first like happy or up or bop, like true like bop for Brooke to watch next?
Oh,
I'll put it on the list for the next time we're able to get together and record.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So, and plus she's open to learning about new artists and everything else too, like some of the other people have been. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun, guys. Brooke, thank you again for joining me. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you to everybody at home for joining us, especially if you made it this far. I appreciate you too. Definitely leave stuff in the comments for more stuff for Brooke to watch, because she's down, which means, of course, I'm down, because I love just showing off more of these cool things that you guys show me. Thank you so much again. And remember, don't wait for life to be easy to be happy.